Whatever you thought about the world before, forget it. Now you're in this one. Whatever you thought about the world before, forget it. Now you're in this one. Whatever you thought about the world before, forget it. Now you're in this one.
Love and light, beautiful people, friends and family. This is CosmicDream's channel. Here we can go a bit more in depth regarding certain issues that are very important to get onto the path of knowing yourself, knowing what's going around you, what is happening, and also act upon, have the solutions. This is the first point I want to bring up. For me, one of the most important: fluoride. Fluoride is a substance used in toothpastes, as we know, mouthwashes and certain other products officially. There is also a lot of fluoride used, especially in the United States, in the food industry. And the biggest problem is in the water. Fluoridated water is banned in Europe. That's lucky for us Europeans. Americans, Malaysians, and other nations in this world are not as lucky. Their water is up to 50 or more % fluorinated, so anything you drink or you shower with has fluor inside. The legal amount of fluoride into a substance is 1 part in a million. So you can imagine how toxic it is, that the limitation, and that one is already too high. Many people say it should not be more than 0.6, 0.3, but the fact is there is actually no safe dose for fluoride. Hydrofluorosilicic acid is fluoride. It's a byproduct from the manufacturing of phosphate fertilizers, mostly out of mining. It is so aggressive that it actually can eat through stone, concrete, glasses, stainless steel, fiberglass. If you would put your hand inside this liquid, you die. This is what they put into our water in the United States, in Malaysia, as well as into your toothpaste and other products. It's toxic waste. It's used in rat poison, but also in Prozac and other pharmaceutical psychoactive drugs, especially everything that regulates in the brain. Fluoride alters your thyroid gland. It calcifies your pineal gland. You should research further what that means. The first symptoms of fluoride poisoning is pain. Pain in joints. It decreases the bone strength. It accumulates in calcium-rich tissues. That means bones, ligaments, cartilage, joints, and of course teeth. That's why on some people here in Europe it's not often, but the US and Asia, you can see all the white sprinkles in the teeth. They're very shiny. This is dental fluorosis. Means you basically accumulated too much fluoride in your teeth. If it's a heavy stage, it can fall off. If it's light, it just gives cavities and it's brittling the teeth. So much about fluoride is good in toothpaste. What every dentist will tell you. I, for myself, know it's not like that. Fluoride is also a cause of lots of other sicknesses, chronic diseases, as well cancer and depression. it should only be used in informed consent to medication, not just be poured into water where everybody has no choice. It is a heavy toxic, it's a nerve toxin. It destroys in your brain your neurons. It attacks the central nervous system. For this there are many studies in the scientific communities out, so there is all factual proof behind what I'm saying, but of course always research yourself. Don't believe anything without checking facts. That's called critical thinking, and this is another problem because the impact that fluoride has on the brain, it's a neurotoxin. It gives you memory problems, IQ problems. It lowers the IQ, and not just by a point, by many, if you take regularly over long term, especially children. It limits your thought process. Of course, if it attacks your neurons in the brain, your connections are not that well anymore, and you basically cannot critical think anymore. And this is one of the most crucial things in our times, to be critical thinker, to question things, not just assume like everybody's telling you they are. Know it for yourself. That's called sovereign, and that's where we want to go. And like I said before, fluoride damages the central nervous system. So if you want to have more information about that, please go and check. There are great movies, documentaries about this out there. If you don't know where to find them, you can always contact me, email me or comment, and I will give you the links to this very good literature. An antidote we know, or I use for these kind of problems, is definitely to produce enough calcium in your body. For that you need a lot of magnesium, also vitamin C, selenium and iodine. This is basic. You need to have this in your system, and your body can produce calcium naturally, what will detoxify the fluoride over time. Also hot saunas, steam baths where you sweat it out through the skin is also very good. Distilled water, even though some people may say distilled water is toxic, it's not. You have to drink 17 liters of distilled water to desalt your body so much that it gets a health issue. We have anyway far too much in our body. You can do that. I mean, you have to have a protocol, inform yourself if you want to do that yourself. I'm doing it in the sense I learned with every aspect of what I'm doing, informed myself, did tests on myself, and found out my perfect dosage. Distilled water, as long you put a pinch of salt inside, there is no danger to it, and it will, as long as you don't increase the salt content too high, detoxify your body of anything that floats around and can be absorbed. Very good advice also for older people who have a lot of, call it rubbish, floating in the system, accumulated over their lifetime. A cure of distilled water over like 2-3 months can change the energy, the vitality of a body immensely. More inform yourself about. One thing we didn't talk yet is how much liquid you absorb through your skin, the biggest organ on the human body, and we are not really aware or don't really put much value to it. But in the end, our skin can absorb within 20 minutes 1.5 liters of water if you submerge yourself. So whatever that liquid you're in is having inside will be absorbed into your body. Makes you think not to use maybe certain swimming pools that are chlorinated, fluorinated, and maybe go more for reverse osmosis. That kind of swimming pool is healthy. It does not give you these kind of problems. It's also important because, like, yeah, in the US, in Malaysia, in Australia, also our family there, please listen, New Zealand, and all in all 8 other countries. You can see it online if you go and check it out. They do fluorinate their water, and it's not the pipe water, it's also the swimming water, the showering water. Every water you basically get from the grid has it inside. That's why go off grid. You live healthier like that. And you don't have to live like we, far out, but use your own system of supplying yourself with the best in all aspects: air, water, food. This is a flyer I created like 7 years ago in German, but I also have it in English translation, with basics you need to know to basically wake up and see the things how they are. Like the Matrix would say, take the red pill or blue pill. This is the red pill, to get aware of what's life and all around you. Wake up, you are not free. How to make natural toothpaste. These are the ingredients I use to make my toothpaste. It's basically bicarbonate of soda or natron. Then we have bio or pure coconut oil. I have here, of course, an organ with the recipe of the toothpaste on my jar to basically energize it and keep it purified all the time. You can actually get them from S if you're interested in this organ of natural toothpaste. We also have them as pendant. And then here we have the oregano oil, essential oil, cinnamon, clove and peppermint. These are the 4 ingredient essential oil wise I put inside, but that's optional. Basic is actually coconut and natron, soda bicarbonate, and of course for taste a bit of peppermint maybe. But with that alone you have, or I have, no problem with my gums and teeth that I had all the time before. Now it's all perfect in that sense, as well as it makes, especially the natron, makes your teeth white. It takes off all the stains if you drink coffee, tea or even smoke. First I take a jar that I use to mix it in. Then I basically take the soda bicarbonate or natron, and this is now, I measure this by eye. I just pour as much as I want to make paste into a jar. Just to powder the soda first, and then I take coconut oil and start pouring it into the jar so that the consistency is that basically all the coconut oil is absorbed by the natron, and it gives a paste that is slightly thickish, not too liquid, because it would be fine to use more coconut oil, but the problem with coconut oil is it starts melting on a certain temperature, and if there is too much mixed into the natron, because of the specific weight of coconut is basically lighter than natron, the coconut oil will float on top, and once it gets colder it will freeze up, and then you have basically on top just a layer of coconut oil and not natron, and that's not good. So make it that it's basically just a nice mix and can be still in a more pasty form. Then add the essential oils you need to. I mean, for me it's like, here I will put now 1, 2, 3 drops of oregano, 1, 2, 3 drops of cinnamon, and 1, 2, 3 drops of clove. And then this is up to each of us, has different taste. I put about 12 to 15 drops of peppermint oil into the mixture, and then basically you just stir it all up nicely. Once all is stirred in nicely, it should be a paste that looks something like this. It's thick and not runny on top. I would take 1/4 teaspoon of this toothpaste every time I brush my teeth. Just put it onto the toothbrush. Also, after brushing my teeth, I use coconut oil as a mouthwash to make everything basically oiled in and smooth, as well as if you do that. I started to doing that. I had never bad breath in the morning. That's also a helpful tool actually. It really keeps your mouth clean overnight. If you do that as last thing before you go to bed, that's actually enough if you do that once a day. So I hope this helps you to make your own toothpaste. Very simple: oil, natron, some essential oils, and you are better off than with any toothpaste available in the shops, except they are made something like this. So I hope it helps, and take care. All natural toothpaste.
Whatever you thought about the world before, forget it. Now you're in this one. Whatever you thought about the world before, forget it. Now you're in this one. Whatever you thought about the world before, forget it. Now you're in this one. Whatever you thought about the world before, forget it. Now you're in this one. Whatever you thought about the world before, forget it. Now you're in this one. Whatever you thought about the world before, forget it. Now you're in this one.